Neeb 打 Nature 在韩服的分数据说是6800的。这是哪国语言？
марафона крутейших поединков. Сначала последний четвертьфинал, затем оба полуфинала, затем финал. После каждого матча у нас в чате будет проходить розыгрыш интересных внутриигровых призов, поэтому оставайтесь с нами до самого конца, и вы станете свидетелями очень интересных поединков в мире StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Здесь в финальной части DreamHack, которая проходит в шведском городе Йончопинг. Слева сверху появился американский...
这是俄语吗？
19-летний Алекс Сундерхафт, который очень уверен в своем ПВТ, который говорит, что, в принципе, Протосы довольно неплохо себя чувствуют в этом матчапе, и в целом Нибу все равно против кого именно играть из Теранов. Настолько он хорошо чувствует себя в матчапе ПВТ.
Neeb 打狙手可是被屌虐的、啊，不是 Neeb 那个 Major 打狙手可是被屌虐的、啊。
конкретно против этого соперника. Это уже прекрасно знакомый нам 24-летний Хуан Карлос Тена Лопес, он же Мейджор.
这是几强赛啊？这个
игрок, которого Блай вполне мог оставить за бортом этого турнира. Игрок, который вполне мог вылететь еще на стадии Ро-16, но все-таки мира. Мейджор, игрок, который вполне в решающие моменты здесь Мейджор. Очень здорово на стадии Ро-16, но все. Забирает разведывательного рабочего, это всегда приятно, и готовится к Прокси Factory. Очень интересную мысль высказал Демуслим, как раз единственный профессиональный игрок в англоязычной команде комментаторов-аналитиков. Он сказал, что вот новый мапул относительно недавно появился.
我觉得这不像俄语，比较像是。
Не совсем понятно, как на них оптимально обороняться.
是俄文吗？我不知道，我不知道。
Сомневается по поводу там.
我真的听不出来是什么哪一国语言。好，神族这场第一个兵出教室。哦，通常这个是要来防那个死神的，啊，他并没有先出母舰核心哦，不要再相信那个虫族玩家跟你说每个神族都是先出母舰核心这种不正确的这个资讯哦。 哦，不要再轻信了。好，这边是下了 VS， 要出先知。那神打人的话，先知可能会出个2只，出个2只去杀农民啊，干嘛的？然后也可以防接下来那个人类会有一波带鬼雷的压制，你可以用先知去罩他。然后有人会问说，为什么现在 WCS 都没有韩国选手？是因为这个 WCS 会有他那个暴雪有为了要让那个比赛增加它的可看性哦，所以他把它分区了，变成你那个一般像我们台湾人打的这个区是叫非韩区哦，那韩国他们自己有一个区是打 GSO 啊，然后打那个就是他们韩国自己有一个自己的比赛是选他们自己的选手。 然后他们的那个什么 GS 那些，我们其他国家的人也可以去报名，但是韩国人不可以去报名那个我们那个台湾、美国、欧洲区打的那个比赛的 WCS， 他们不能报名，他们必须要有居留权什么才行。
Нип пробкой должен был заметить, действительно он замечает, что происходит. Адептом, тем не менее, не возвращается домой, адептом возвращается все-таки на натурал для того, чтобы там убить Рипера.
哇哦，刚刚干嘛？毒爆那个鬼雷炸到8只，这有够亏。这个还杀不死哦，这个鬼雷被载走。再炸一炮，我天哪！这开局妹就赚翻了。
9 рабочих для Ниба. Это хороший дроп, это хороший старт, но этого пока мало. Нужно какое-то интересное продолжение. У Мейшера, кстати, 54 максимального лимита уже очень долго. И второй дроп ему совершенно не удается. Действительно, вот это 54-54.
Innovation 哦 ，Innovation， 他们韩国区不能打那个啊，不能打那个。这叫什么？这一站其实是军黑客那边啊，之前都叫军黑客，他这一次改成叫 WCS 第2季。 盐血瓶的样子。
Да ладно!
Special 就 Major 啊 ，Special。
Одна мина все-таки закопалась, но с другой стороны можно забрать медивак, можно забрать эту мину тоже. Вы знаете, скорее всего, маны не было у Феникса просто. Скорее всего, просто не было на тот момент маны у Феникса для того, чтобы поднять обе мины. Тем не менее, мана есть сейчас, да и вообще под ревелейшном это минка, поэтому Neeb, наверное, без проблем отобьется от этого.
哦，先知没事。那这波吃掉其实还行。这波吃掉的话，就刚亏就赚回来了。
Сейчас у Нееба нет возможности бросить Evilation, потому что у Оракула слишком мало маны. Но мина, закопанная конкретно здесь, особой роли не играет. И опять-таки нужно учесть, что, во-первых, у Нееба уже готов третий Nexus. Во-вторых, эти здания стоят в прокси.
韩国现在应该算是没有职业选手了吧？
Рано или поздно тут все
他们之前环境不错，但是现在星海的在韩国环境也没有那么好。
Появились две новых мины, Neeb успевает отреагировать. Очень красиво поднимает вторую мину. С первой он просто знает, где она закопана.
第一层沉稳且富有磁性的优美嗓音。
Потерянным ресурсом оказывается далеко позади. Прекрасная оборона от Нееба в первом сете. Вот не знаю, может быть, Neeb и не до конца понимает, как оптимально отбиваться на новых картах, но вне зависимости от того, новая карта или старая, Neeb, конечно, невероятно круто играет. Просто сумасшедший уровень, и, честно говоря, я не знаю, что дальше будет делать Мейджор. Главная проблема Террана в том, что...
对啊，韩国现在就是 low 跟 OW 最多人玩，没有错啦。
На карте всего один медивак, который сейчас дропает.
哎呦，再来投一颗，这可以硬投哦。
Двойной пилон оверчардж.
哎呀，
мина,
他应该走到那个范围外。
Хороший юнит, как любят говорить Терраны в таких случаях. Тут, кстати, мины-то могут закопаться прям в минеральную линию, прям вот сюда.
再炸一波。
Оба втыкают.
哎，他发呆了。
Заняты, видимо, какими-то другими моментами. Да ладно, Мейджор.
哎，炸几只啊？ 只炸一只哎， 运气不好。
были заняты вот этими переделками с Фениксами. Я считаю, это большая ошибка Мейджора, прежде всего. Он мог бы очень многого добиться одной миной, если бы правильно ее закопал, правильно ей смикрил, но... В итоге здесь уже просто врываются адепты, старые добрые Фениксы адепты в исполнении.
哎，这公兵拉的够及时哦。 凤凰有保存。
минус 9 рабов.
哇 ，Neeb 这边
69 на 49, да, чтобы вы понимали масштаб трагедии.
这个 OB 果然不是专业的。
Где-то есть рандомно закопанные мины. Вот, Мейджор начинает просто по всей карте их разбрасывать.
刚 Neeb 知道说他，哎呦，哎，还有一炮，Oh my god！ 刚 Neeb 知道说他刚杀了他的农民嘛，对，他如果把农民杀光了，他的兵会被吃光，所以他选择把他的部队往后撤。 Live 已经被终身禁赛了，他可以玩，但是他不能比赛。
Не так уж и плохо. Несмотря на то, что Neeb действительно очень уверенно чувствует себя с Феникса адептами. И сейчас в очередной раз он нанесет сопернику очень серьезный экономический урон. Мейджор попытается отыграться здесь в районе третьей базы, но тут большое количество адептов, конечно, но тут нет никакой детекции. Будет ли
哦，炸一波大的！哎呦，有那个。
что был супер неприятный подлаг в игре. Это именно в игре, а не у нас. И, честно говоря, в такой момент это было очень сильно не в пользу Нееба, потому что ему нужно мин соперника. Тем не менее, здесь мины под ревелейшном оказывается.
因为他的对于那个美食的想法跟人家不一样，所以被禁赛。
очень сильно отстает. Адепты, конечно, прыгнули прямо в войско соперника. Что по экономике в целом? Neeb очень здорово добывает. Что по минкам? Они по-прежнему вот так вот закопаны по всей карте. И по-прежнему представляют по себе очень серьезную угрозу, но... Опа! Вот и одна из них. А вот и вторая. Но и с той, и с другой сейчас разбирается. Разбирается Neeb, и надо бы... Мне кажется, ему уже остановить производство мин с этой Proxy Factory. Но почему-то Neeb не хочет этого делать.
人口差26，其实 Neeb 一开始被那个鬼雷炸，真是蛮亏的。但是后面那个 Major 的压制啊，全部都是亏的。
заставляет мейджора в эти мины инвестировать, понимая, что вроде бы ничто не мешает ему дальше контролировать карту, не давать этим минам ничего сделать. То есть пусть фэктори стоит, пусть мины строятся, все равно они ничего не сделают. Это деньги на ветер с точки зрения Ниба. По потерянным ресурсам, конечно же, именно Протос впереди. Бросаются бусты на Роботикс, на Форжу, на обе Форжи, поправка и на Твайлайт. Да, очень грамотное, очень правильное распределение бустов. Фениксы снова залетают на третью. Здесь турель за все это время так и не построилась, поэтому мейджор в очередной раз лишается экономики. Грейды 2-2 будут скоро готовы у мейджора, вот что для него хорошо. Пока что у Ниба 1-1, скоро будут 2-1. Не видит нигде обсервера мейджор. Специально просканил именно ради апса. Ой, ну тут дикий сплэш на самом деле. От минок прошел очень жесткий сплэш.
鬼雷真的很便宜哦！喂，这个追猎，这个追猎。
Ниб в итоге эту армию убьет. Тут и очень много фениксов было потеряно. И, конечно...
这鬼雷等等又要再炸一发了，看不到他的 CD 时间。
Сразу же чуть-чуть подравнялся мейджор. С другой стороны, конечно, у Ниба такая экономика, что ему сейчас совершенно не обязательно быть эффективным.
其实我也觉得要把那个 VF 打掉。
ресурсов, да, он может просто идти вперед и убивать. Видимо, именно такой у него план.
不然他一直在那边生鬼雷很麻烦的，升到矿区那边炸一下就亏死。
Мешает ему пойти в атаку. 3 обсервера на карте, но как-то они не очень удачно расположены. Полетела еще варпризма у Ниба, но пока не спешит приступать к харасу Ниб. Здесь не дает мейджор поставить Нибу пятую базу. Сам фокусит просто Nexus. Не, но это не сработает. Это и близко не сработает. И мне кажется, хорошо здесь отбивается Ниб. Вот у мейджора сейчас начнутся проблемы из-за этих теней. Давайте посмотрим, как мейджор будет реагировать. Мейджор сейчас ставит 4.
阿怎么把它变绿色的？
Продолжает.
他这个赛品，我跟你讲，这个转播的一定是玩人类的。我看他那个视角，大部分都发人类这边，就知道他一定是玩人类的。
Заметил, как полетели тени, и заметил сейчас, что высадились также у него на мейне адепты, так что очень здорово отреагировал мейджор. В итоге он тут минимизирует потери, но вообще практически ничего не потерял на этом харасе. Ваши ставки, господа, это Factory реально будет тут до конца игры? То есть...
他坚持不把这打掉，太扯了。
Скорее всего, Ниб специально
这真的太扯了。
соперника, да, что он специально оставляет эту прокси Factory в таком рабочем состоянии, но всему же есть предел. Неужели вот прям полностью устраивает Нибу происходящее на карте? 5 минок снова в разных частях карты, они закопаны. Ну, странно это немного, не знаю. Вот сейчас опять подорвет сталкера мейджор. Нет, все-таки мид.
哎，他一直被那个鬼雷炸到。哇！ 凤凰死光了。
Покинули его фениксы, но фениксы уже и не нужны. Они, в принципе, сделали то, что должны были. Выполнили свою игровую...
这家伙根本就是。
Не знаю, я считаю, зря вот это все в итоге придумал Ниб.
他为什么要把他那个按掉啊？
Sразу же
算了，有的看就好了。
Вместо того, чтобы потом ходить по минам всю игру. Ну да ладно. Мейджор приступает сейчас к более активной фазе игры с дропами, с разводами по нескольким направлениям. Посмотрим, как где-то...
小绿按到那个关掉那个地形。
Готова база на золоте. Мейджор, в свою очередь, ЦЦ ставит и ставит криво. Кстати, на клетку выше положенного. У мейджора это, по-моему, традиционная уже проблема, судя в том числе и по играм против Блая. Вот здесь будет не просто Нибу, потому что не совсем корректно распределены войска. Колосс все-таки потерян. Здесь вот больше, и от этого дропа он спокойно отобьется, но...
你看这个追猎上面这送来送的，他这个教室还是要多一点啊。 哎，其实说实在，你如果神主啊，经济很好的情况下，你确实可以用纯追猎加哨兵加那个巨象中组合打。如果你很有钱的话。 不然的话，一般你还是要教室多一点才有肉盾，而教室也有伤害。人类打教室要出什么？出掠夺者啊，掠夺者多一点。
Очень хорошо микроциколос. И сейчас подойдет сюда основное войско. И станет намного проще. Нибу, в свою очередь, намного сложнее викингам.
你看他像他这个后期也是刷很多追猎嘛，那只表示他觉得他自己经济比对方好。不然这组合如果你经济没有比对方好的话，你根本打不赢哦。你看这一波其实神都打不赢哦。哎，但是我不修着，哇，不修着还是有点伤害。人类没钱啊。
Похоронить надежды Мейджора. Просто один давар по чарт зилотов. Зелки убегают, но, безусловно, они уже нанесли серьезный урон. Мейджор, опять-таки, дерется как лев, но я боюсь, что...
教室凤凰人类要怎么打？
Тяжело ему будет что-то
你
придумать.
就不要打得太冲动吧。教室凤凰一般可以出那个鬼雷多一点来打，但是他强一点神族会用凤凰去赢的雷。 鬼子也可以用啦。如果说你今天单纯要讲说用什么打比较好，你也可以用鬼子，去 EMP 他的凤凰，然后 EMP 他的教师差超多。然后巨像现在会很弱，是因为他的攻击力少了20%。哦，20%什么概念？现在的巨像你升到3攻，攻击力是26。不是，升到3攻，攻击力是30。 然后现在，然后以前的话是你还没升攻击就30，所以以前升到那个3攻的话是攻击是36，现在是升到3攻是30，也就是以前没升的时候。
У Мейджора, безусловно, основные экономические перспективы связаны именно с этой базой на золото.
哎，还是你们有主台的 VOD 啊？ 我们可以看主台 VOD 啊，这个 OB， 这 OB 有点戳啊。所以他巨像差很多啊，以前是，你像他升3攻是以前没升攻哎，这差超多的哦。以前的巨像升1攻就跟神一样了。
Сейчас первая из них получит kills, даже 2. Это очень недурно. Ох ты, как здесь! Мейджор, смотрите, переиграл Ниба позиционно, и вот это уже реальный шанс выбить этот Nexus Нибу. Это значит выйти вперед по экономике. А выйти вперед по экономике в ситуации, когда Мейджор постоянно разменивается, очень выгодно. Это уже дорогого стоит, правда, здесь окружил войско соперника.
哇，再走！哎呦，扎自己。不过还好，12只狂战士。
Тут маловато сталкеров, чтобы не дать Мейджору уйти. Хотя, а есть ли Мейджору куда уходить? Ой-ой-ой, а тут некуда лететь. Как же обидно это, да? Ну, действительно, очень мало сталкеров у Ниба. Он бы легко забрал все это войско, если бы у него здесь было хотя бы на пару сталкеров больше. Но у него есть еще один шанс. У него есть еще один блинк, пока не откатился кулдаун буста, и минус еще один медивак. Ну, это, конечно, опять минус для Мейджора. Интересно, что Мейджор сейчас ставит фэктори, видимо, для того, чтобы добавить новые старпорты, да, у него... Всего один старпорт, и он не может построить новый, потому что у него фэктори нет. Ним восстанавливает этот Nexus. Тут база уже восстановлена, и на ней как-то пробки добывают. Но опять-таки золото уже заканчивается. И здесь у Мэйшера...
他这个小地图让我头很痛，你知道吗？
Такой легкий период просветления. Знаете, может быть, этот период продолжится.
那是主台的，枪兵自古幸运一。
Мэйшера тут не все войско, конечно, но его серьезная часть. Другая часть идет здесь.
来翻翻看。
Мина в центре карты опять сыграла свою роль. Ниб за всех сил мчится сюда. Нибу невероятно сложно. Соперник диктует инициативу. И Нибу нужно на этой гигантской карте распределять войска таким образом, что чтобы у него было ровно столько, сколько надо и на северном, и на южном фронте. Это безумно тяжело. Поэтому Ниб сейчас очень сильно страдает. Ему действительно нереально сложно обороняться. Здесь у него гигантское войско, которое, конечно же, победит в этом сражении. Здесь вроде бы достаточно юнитов, чтобы отбить Nexus. Да, не успевает Мейджор его профокусить. И блин, вперед мог бы сделать Ниб, если бы в это время не контролил в другом месте. Я поражаюсь тому, как Ниб умудряется в сложнейшей ситуации делить армию так, чтобы у него ровно половина была сверху, ровно половина снизу.
不是我在讲这个 OB 真的有差，我已经拉好，我等下接那个下一场就接他们第2场。
Это очень тяжело, поверьте, это просто на грани фантастики. На такой большой карте.
哇，这真的打得赢吗？有兵有差，兵有差。
по-моему, да. Мейджор понимает, что он обречен. GG, это прекрасная игра от Ниба. Он целиком и полностью заслужил.
来，我们换那个吧，我换主台的流。
Классно он распределял армию на столь большой и сложный.
Over here on the right bottom side, we're looking at the main base of our Mexican Terran player. Also played a fantastic game. Perhaps this time he can end up in the winning side. It is SpeClaL.
SpeClaL.
Joking aside, we were talking about if we're going to see a factory or something like that. I mean, we can already kind of cheat a little bit here and see that that's not going to be the case. I'm telling you right now, SpeClaL falls back on a straight up macro harass.
哦，又过了12点哦，又是新的一天哦，投票又可以重新投一次了。大家可以支持一下吗？
After that was locked down, amazing defense from Neeb, and I felt like SpeClaL got really far behind, but was able to claw it back, and at times looked like he was the one that could win that game.
Yep. Especially after he defended on the right bottom side. I really felt that this could very well be his moment. The attack on the top side looked good. I thought he might get both next side. Neeb is like, no, actually, you're not getting either one, you know? I'm gonna keep both of them alive at 87 HP, and I'm just sitting here like, that was amazing. What a game. What a way to start this quarterfinal.
If we get any more of that, we're going to have a simply amazing Sunday. I hope you guys at home are having a lot of fun, a good time. If StarCraft seems really cool to you and you don't have it right now, you can get it at half off as well. It's a summer sale going on. I swear to you, that's my only commercial for that for right now, but it is a good deal.
And if that is not good enough, there's
Do you
also
have a better deal.
Well, I mean, you kind of need StarCraft for my deal.
Okay.
But I have heard, and I'm not sure if we've mentioned it.
猛一点的照片啊！
There is a new announcer pack coming out soon.
Get out of here. They just made the Tastosis one. How do they keep cranking out such goodness?
I don't know, but this one is special.
It is.
It's
Little Rotterdam. Or, Nathanius.
Yes.
He's kind of Little Rotterdam, though. A little bit.
Oh.
That's fine. It's not bad.
消不掉哎。
We're gonna have both players fall back into their more standard opening. I wouldn't be
见过呀
surprised if we see a Stargate here fairly soon from Neeblet, as he used to be called. A little history lesson for some of our more fresh viewers.
You know what I'm curious about?
Okay.
你们要投给真正优质的实况组啊！
And if he does go up to 3 bases again, that incredibly fast. This has been a discussion for a long time, right? Can you punish that as a Terran? And what we've seen TY do in the past, and if TY does,
难道你们希望你们把辉哥台打开以后就出现是小白妹妹的脸吗？视讯这样子，这你们受得了
You know, Jeff, I know a lot of Terran players hate this, a lot of pros players like this. I find this questionable. For me, it never really does anything, and often when I cast it, this just falls flat on its face. And I like this as well, being active with the Reaper. Let's just see how much damage these overcharges will be able to do.
Well, it is gonna get shut down here from that Cyclone. In fact, the motion core probably no, it's still coming over.
I wouldn't even overcharge.
Yeah, he's gonna do it.
That's
Not a good call. Can lock on. I guess with a couple of hits, he was wondering if he could maybe take on the Cyclone, but I don't think that's the case with the Marines backing it up. To your point, though, Kevin, there was a time where if you opened Reaper, you didn't necessarily see a Cyclone coming out behind that, and that kind of move was really strong in that era.
That's true.
Now, Cyclones are pretty common, so I do agree with you. It becomes a lot less good.
This Reaper has been doing some serious work. Not only did it get 2 kills, but it forced the probes to be running around a little bit, you know, on and off. This time it's going to be a lot harder, I think, for Neeb to go up to 3 bases that fast.
我们回到比赛哦。
Before we saw that Pylon Madness, sometimes you saw TY build a bunker, right? Like a bunker in the dark. Rally a couple of Marines to it. I think we had that in the final of Katowice.
危险的
This is awesome stuff to watch, and I know that SpeClaL's capable of that kind of stuff too.
哇，他这招死了，拜拜，再玩了，拜拜。
Nexus is going to be a little bit later regardless.
他早就该下去了哦。这边接2个飞弹车，哇，这一波很凶哦。
Which, by the way,
6枪兵加2个飞弹车，
And look at the pylon placement at the natural. I think there's one towards the ramp.
哇，这波超凶的。
overcharge available if it's even ready. Is it ready?
Might just have the energy. It does.
他抢点那个吗？哦，他等他的部队来。
Might bring this Oracle.
哇，直接上去了！天哪！
Is this gonna run by? He's gonna ignore this.
Wow.
Can he lift in range? No, he can't. This is gonna be
这个爆开的感觉。
The Oracle's gonna have to fight, but there are still 5 Marines and a medevac alive.
有，好像还能守，好像还能守，
Back as well. We're gonna get a little bit of a surround here.
还行
Here
还
comes
行还
the
行
Here comes the Oracle. It's gonna go ahead and start targeting the Marines.
切的不错。
The pickup of
再
the
走。
heavy hitter in the Cyclone, a good choice as the other Cyclones can make its way out of here.
哎，凤凰没去追哦，
Back gets a little bit thwarted.
这边没打好，这边刚刚其实应该是逆本的凤凰要去追那个医疗艇，然后其他的兵留在原地就好了。这样变成这个飞弹车可能不会死。
And it can become a snowball effect where you don't have enough GPS to kill the Marines.
Well, you can see our jaded Protoss minds were like, no, this is it.
哦，感谢那个 Nightmare 50524，你好，感谢感谢。
I might lose an adapt on a bad day. It's like
on a bad day, I like it. So all of a sudden, again, Special did try some harass. It was looking good, but
mine. There's a mine.
Silly.
There's a mine below
he hiding it?
Yeah, but I think Neeb knows.
How does Neeb always know?
这其实我看到那个飞弹车，
He's like, no, come over here.
恼羞了，恼羞了。哦呦，原来是陷阱啊！
It's nice to see Neeb is still a human being as well.
No, he was picking it up to threaten it. Mind games.
At least keep it in one place, right?
原来刚刚是个陷阱啊！他把他的巨用飞弹车站在那个鬼雷上面哦，要去表对方。
Neeb is a human being. Every now and then makes a silly mistake there as well.
Still a fast third, but if you look at the Terran base, is there a third CC? Because I'm seeing a lot of ramping up here in production, Rotterdam. I do not think Special has any plans for this to go too much longer. I think he wants to just parade, push across, and do some damage. I mean, he could still throw down the third CC, but I feel like he knows he's facing Adept Phoenix, and if he does that, he's just going to be really behind.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, if you get barracks number 4 and 5 before that third CC, this is going to be gnarly because there's no observer out yet. Losing a probe,
哇，他真的是一个被狂炸。
is annoying, and there's a good chance this has to happen one more time. As that Oracle doesn't have energy for Revelation, more mines are wiggling their way across the map. I love this series so far, Jeff. This is awesome.
Been good.
And this
I'm
push,
just a little bit nervous because this push, it's all here. Falling 0-2 to Neeb it's pretty close to a death sentence.
oh, this is gonna be like 4 or 5 death probes. I think this mine will pretty much always shoot. If the adapts were there, it won't shoot, but now it will shoot.
Oh,
get
6.
6. Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, 6 is nice, but it's a third Nexus, so it's not really about the probe kill. It's about this attack that's coming up behind it.
Yeah, but I like this attack. I think this is a very powerful attack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Server spots it.
哇，防空塔凶。
Of the force.
他这样子的话，这个岩石要打吗？
Looks like he's gonna try getting some Wintermines behind this.
哎，后面被截。我危险，危险，放。
Against the medevac, you gotta watch for that. There's not a lot of opportunity to heal them.
教室蛮多的，我觉得这一波还是能守的。
Those Marauders are very important in soaking up the damage against the adepts. But once again, Neeb is doing a
攻防怎么样？
Somehow that observer took one for the.
这波我觉得是能守的，这波不至于把神族打死的。
I think Neeb is gonna wipe in a few more adepts and shade forward. I think the attack is happening.
Yep. And we're going to have those Adepts try to jump on top of this Bioforce. He stems over the missile turret to try and buy some time. The Adepts do shade in. They're going to get the exchange, some open area over here for the Phoenix to try to do what they can. The Adepts win the right side, and Special gets doused in purifying Protoss Flame. Now, behind this, he did take a third base. I think he mentally checked out of the idea that that attack was going to be what he
然后这时候从人类的3矿才刚开哦，这是神族优势蛮大的。 如果说刚那一波在那边僵持的时候啊，人类的3矿是已经在营运的，那我觉得都还有的打。哎，这干嘛？哎，这干嘛？瓦斯水晶加后面的数字是怎么算出来？那个是游戏里面的那个地图编辑器弄的，他会帮你算你1分钟可以加多少。 他们玩家选手自己看不到，是 OB 视角的看到。哇，很闹很闹哦！哎，这波节奏都打起来了。2矿这边有防守吗？哇，这种大光炮顶不住哦，2矿要崩喽。3矿这边也要崩了，主矿投3矿了。 好，掉一个光炮还行。2矿怎么样？2矿有点惨哦。这飘过去他就要走了，再走。好，人类都没有下一波啊！人类如果这时候还有下一波就更强了。
See if Major actually has something at home to protect his mineral line. No, Neeb could have gone for a couple of SCVs there for free instead.
哦，感谢投票，感谢投票。
Marauders going to be able to clean this up. Wow, great drops there. I mean, that's really what Special needed. And he ain't done yet. He's coming back for more. This cannon is going to get picked off. More buildings will be unpowered. Stargate is unpowered, so no extra Phoenixes. Neeb has had enough, but that often is a bad sign for a Protoss.
Yeah, base trading with the Terran is really hard to do. He's going to go for the third base, but killing SCVs is nothing for Medivacs powering up.
爆炸！
Jumping on top of the Adepts. It was
真的一个大逆转。
at best, and he needed so much more than that. Neeb losing out back at home, loses the army
没有用
over
啊
here, and I would not be surprised to see
被炸太多了，而且我跟你讲，刚刚那画面啊，
this series
不是只有 OB 带量画面，那个 Neeb 的主矿被空投哦。那个 SpeClaL 没有用他所有的兵在那边守啊，他还有一波兵在那个 Neeb 的主矿那边投。
But then I think he went too aggressive. What I love from Terran players these days, Jeff, is that they wait with their drops until they see where the Phoenixes are. Mater is like, oh, your Phoenixes are at the bottom of my natural, you're picking off a mine. This is my moment to send the first 2 Medivacs. I'm gonna try to sneak behind enemy lines, unload those 2 Medivacs in the main, and that obviously opens another path for that second drop that did devastating amount of damage in the natural. Just a really
lot
good
of
setup
damage.
by Special.
We've got some great games for you guys. I hope you guys are excited. We're going to take a quick little break here so our players can rest and recoup for the action.
Major 在韩服的实力，刚刚有人说好像6800吧，我是不知道他有这么高啦。就我知道的话是6500啦，但有没有到6800我不确定。好，他们进广告，那我没进广告。好，下一场。噔噔噔噔，哦，他们进 i7 处理器的广告，我们等一下也要噔噔噔噔噔。好，我们直接跳。好，第2场，对，第3场。1000美啊，看超贵的。
I think it's safe to say a map that is almost impossible to play without a Stargate for Protoss, but also a map that is excellent for some liberated range that we haven't seen yet in this series.
We almost haven't even gotten there. We've seen a little bit of Liberators, but it's just been so intense before that. In the top right-hand side, having this series evened out underneath him from America, it is Ting Neeb.
I saw something there.
What'd you see?
I saw something blue.
i9 应该不知道哎，看情况吧。确实我的用法或许是需要 i9，或许不确定啊，到时候再评估吧。我需要很强的 CPU， 但是我的显卡还是不用很强。我的用法啊 CPU 真的是不够用哦。我玩那个什么13号星期五都会那个。没有，我看干爹看到广告很奇怪啊。
And I think it's incredibly important to do it on this map. I mean, otherwise it just becomes madness, especially against somebody as good as Special. And for the people who are all confused, Special of course used to be known as.
但我在想会不会是那个广告量很大
Why are we calling him Special? Well, he requested it. So since he has an official name request, Major is now.
虚拟12。
Obviously, every now and then we'll slip up and still call him Major, since we've done that for 6-7 years. But just trying.
贵神生电脑，真假的？
Sure, there is no confusion there. But you know, Jeff, the story for me when it comes to Phoenix Adapt at the moment is this.
不过如果说你们看到广告的话，表示我会有收入啦，这也对我来说是个帮助。我真的不够用啊，我 CPU 是 i7 6700是吧？不够用啊！你们说会卡，是你们说会卡的啊。然后我自己看我的 OBS， 它上面说什么丢就是 CPU 100%啦。 我嘛是无法度啊。
To start dropping. I know where the Phoenixes are. They're not at home. Now I can drop. So it becomes this moral dilemma.
Yeah.
Do I do damage or do I use them to shut down drops? You know, you have to find a balance.
Which is so crazy because I think conventional thought is, okay, he's got Phoenix. Well, obviously I can't drop then.
That's what it used to be.
The razor's edge of logic for these.
这是 VOD 了 ，VOD 只要是大家都看得到的 VOD 就可以转。
That's precisely when I do drop, and it gets. I mean, that's just.
但是如果说这个 VOD 是要花钱才可以看的，那就不能转。好，这是我去查法律上面是这样写的，只要是一般人都可以打开观看的。 那种东西就可以播。那如果说比如说我今天要订阅你的频道，我才可以看你的 VOD， 我必须要花4.99美才可以看你的 VOD， 这种的就不能播。我这台可以抄啊，我是6700K， 可以抄啊。那可能要那个建龙来帮我弄一下，建龙，哎，我那个水冷都还没拿回来。
Medevacs will fly in from all angles, and the moment they have liberated range, you're forced to have a Stargate. Otherwise, you can't mine of a single mineral patch anymore.
Man, if he fishes out this Oracle, it's such a devastating way to start, and he absolutely does.
哦，亏，没办法，太表了，你知道吗？
That's hardly what you're looking for. You're not like I'm gonna make this Oracle and listen. If I can spot something mid map, boy howdy. 这个 SpeClaL 真的是鬼雷心理学达人呢。有啊，有很多台都是要订阅才能看 VOD 啊。
Because you don't expect to fly into a mine there. This is gonna get gnarly. Neeb is already going to
这种东西你问脑膜炎跟那个小白他们就很懂。都是他们跟我讲的。哇哦！刚刚那个左边的鬼雷是手动点的。来，我这边可以重看一下，他那手动点的。你们仔细看左边那个鬼雷的线，你们看这条线，你看它有没有？他这是手动点的，不然他会炸到这一只。And even the trick widow mine shot off at something as well.
This is a disaster, though, as Pick would say. This is terrible. I mean, that second Oracle is just being made now. You have one revelation. What is the lucky mineral line, Jeff? Like, you choose, you lose, because one of them is still going to have a mine there. You're going to be forced to pull the probes.
Yeah.
On the right side, it's actually very close to shooting. Neeb, you have to pull because there are way too many probes there. It's going to shoot.
Yeah, they're both going to shoot.
手动就是他去点那只鬼雷啊，然后按右键去点那个工兵多的地方。
This is all. I mean, I don't want to sound. This is terrible. This is so hard to deal with. Worker-wise, you could say like, 40 against 40. No, guys, this is really bad. There is like almost nothing Neeb can do. He's gonna lose a few more workers.
我没说你坏话啊，哎，这是称赞哎，怎么变成坏话了？你心里觉得那是坏话，他就是坏话，但我不觉得那是坏话，我觉得我是在称赞你们嘞。这表示你们资讯发达，你们知道很多东西，博学多闻，有没有？为什么会变成是在说你们坏话呢？啊，真的是不能这样子啊，脑膜炎。我要直接被炸到投降了，太亏了啊，亏翻了哦。基本上遇到这种情况真的是没得打，你知道吗？哇 ，SpeClaL 再赢一场就晋级了，8强应该是波5而已。
For WCS Austin.
It's amazing, but on this level, killing that first Oracle was everything. Major getting the kill on that first Oracle. After that, there is a Phoenix on the way. Neeb is playstyle. It's so sharp, it's so crisp, but if one thing goes wrong, and in this case, you lose the Oracle, it's a domino effect. Yeah. Just everything falls down. Obviously, I love to follow up with the extra mines. Major did everything right, don't get me wrong, but you know, that's just the risk that you take as a Protoss player. And when your builds are that sharp, that greedy to some degree, but you can kind of get away with it as long as things go your way.
什么表演什么都打电梯哦，不玩了可以打也可以打一下。
It is gut check time for our reigning WCS champion from Austin, but also the leader of the board. Neeb, you're trailing 1-2 to a very talented, very dangerous Korean-trained Terran in
very dangerous.
You're going to have to dig deep because so far we've seen only the same thing out of him in the first 3 games. And it's special that, as I was saying earlier, has evolved around kind of hard countering that. We're going to have to see something different here out of Neeb if he's going to hope to get past this because it's just not going to cut it. This build has been, you know, it's got counters. We've found them.
Yeah. Sequencer is, of course, going to be a unique map. It's a larger map, which means, in general, all those drops that Major likes to do are going to arrive a tiny bit late.
Not a lot of negative space either.
Yeah, so it gives you often like just those few extra seconds that could be enough to get another Phoenix out, to get another grab them beam, lift up those mines. it's important to scout early on. Proxies have been popular on this map because there isn't really a ramp going into the natural. It's a flat ground, so if you can get a couple Cyclones going or Cyclone Liberator, do I expect Special to cheese here?
Yep.
No, probably not, but it is something that we have to mention.
赞女好友可以啊，你要加可以加，当然。
Ladies and gentlemen, please grab your Zergling plushie, grab your Diablo 2 CD-ROM disc, huddle together with your Blizzard accoutrements, and pray to the Morheim God that we get a Game 5, because this has been really, really good stuff. In the top right-hand side, the blue Protoss, it's Neeb.
Neeb.
No love for Warcraft 3, Jeff.
Oh yeah, sure, man. That's an expansion of Diablo 2, I think, isn't it? Or...
Shame on
Neeb.
you. Over here in the left bottom side of Sequencer, we're looking at our Mexican Terran, who is one map away from making it to the semi-finals of this WCS event. That would be the second time in a row. It is special.
Major， 他以前 ID 是 Major，MAJOR。
talking about how special, or at the time as he was called Major, did not travel well.
Yep.
He had some issues where he, was meant to go to tournaments and didn't. It was kind of this problem child. And man, has he turned it around and become something of a force. And on the flip side, it was Neeb, who was a Terran player as well. Makes a race switch over to Protoss, starts to become the legend that he is now. We were all over him last year, and this year he's not slowing down. He's even looking in some ways in better form at times, I believe.
Yep, and I think he looked incredibly good in game number 1. That was as high level as they come. And
我工商战女哦，2年前的事情了。
Game number 2 started off pretty decent as well. Just the first time those two Metafacts were not spotted. That's where things went downhill real fast with the follow-up drop as well. I just love the pace of the first 2 games. And even game 3 was explosive. There's no other way to put it with all those mines. But obviously, not, it wasn't as fun as game number 1 and 2. Was it a dad joke? I just
yeah.
30.
I was just gonna say, Rotterdam just had his 30th birthday, so the dad jokes are like, doesn't even know they're coming out anymore.
Just wait until Warcraft 4 is out, and I'll be 40. It's gonna be a disaster.
Oh, we'll see. But I hope you guys are having fun. This has been a great tournament. We've got only better matches coming up. I do want to give a shout out too, as well, to our observers.
这张图因为距离远，那个死神道其实威力也有下降很多。不过这场 Neeb 打得比较稳哦，他是母舰核心直接加速出来，所以死神道的时候母舰核心也出来了。如果说你今天是加速教室的话，他那个你死神来的时间点的教室可能还没出来。但这张图因为够远，其实加速你的教室其实也来得及。有些图比较小，你直接加速教室，然后不出母舰核心，确实他死神来的时候，你会有一段时间是没有兵的。
This switches things up, and this has to do with Sequencer. This map is being longer. Special is like, well, it's always hard to do damage against Neeb. On a map like this, my Metavacs arrive 5, 6, 7 seconds later. Sure. May not sound like a big deal against Neeb, a very big deal. So he's like, I'm gonna switch it up, and he's getting the better, hand of the mind game so far. Because where Neeb is playing a little bit more cautious with the fast demolition core.
哦，一样是走 VS。Neeb 真的很喜欢走 VS 线，然后出一支先知。哎呦，SpeClaL 这场打速3开。
Okay, good luck with that.
I would have loved for Special's third CC to be a hidden third CC at an
全防速3开，这么吵。
There's actually 70,000 bases on this map, and how cool would it have been to pull out that cheese? That would have been good.
Would have been, where?
Don't you agree?
You know what would have been my favorite spot for the hidden base? Right below the main of Neeb. Right there.
No.
You'll never see it coming.
A planetary rush?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the in base here, Look where the Oracle flies. He's not going to take this base. He's going to take the base at 12.
All right, for those of you at home, just to keep track, my idea was great. His is terrible. Let's move on.
No, it's not. Hide in plain sight, Jeff. Always works.
I expected some big
被侦察到，被那个枪兵侦察到。那Neeb因为抢时间不杀那只。哎呦，2矿可以哦，2矿。照一下，不杀，不弹。但没有看到3矿，太关键了。但他应该觉得很奇怪，为什么对方的那个 VF 那么慢呢？刚刚那个时间点过去，那个 VS 应该都在做咯。他 VF 才刚好哇，这感觉有点变态，这个。三娘教子。
something must have
Yeah.
been up. And I was like, oh my god, I'll never be that good, Jeff.
That's why we're here, Kevin. We're the ones talking about the guys that are. Phoenix going to shift around here. SpeClaL taking, you know, with this different opening, it's a lot different of a pace that we've seen. We've seen Widow Mines just like walking into bases or getting dropped. A lot of harass. Certainly that will come, don't you worry. But for right now, SpeClaL's on the back foot with that third CC. Doesn't have the ability to be out there harassing.
And Mapu pointing out that my hidden base would have been found by the pylon.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea.
It was a fun idea, though.
It was fun. Yes,
it would have made it to the fun day month.
哦，哨兵
Absolutely. The Pig Daily would have gone all over that one. Phoenix trying to find some purchase, but for right now, they're kind of residing themselves to a couple of cheap kills and mostly just information. SpeClaL always sharking around looking for a win. I wonder, okay, here's me overthinking again. I was like, is that single Marine to bait out the Phoenix? No, it was not. I was going to go scout. I live in a world where these players are even better than they already are, and they're pretty darn good. But let's kind of take a gander here. Looking up the production tab, it's still going to be the attack upgrade, glaives, or robo. Like, this is the Neeb build. He's actually changed nothing so far.
You know what I would like to see, and we haven't seen yet in this series, and we've seen almost everything. If one of the Phoenixes takes a lot of damage, but this is actually really good. If he gets the medevac, that would be just the icing on the cake. Unfortunately, Neeb doesn't get it, but just thinning out the Marine count a little bit makes the first push of SpeClaL so much weaker.
Yes.
And that is everything that Neeb wants, because when a Terran opens up with 3 command centers, that first push is a lot bigger.
4500，靠，太便宜了
A
吧
little bit crazy here too.
！97以上 CP 这么高，
One of the things that happens here,
Inception?
we're going to enhance on this a little bit. SpeClaL's not keen on repairing his medevacs because he's
对啊，96还不该去买个两张97来做一个双显卡
that。big of a deal because they'll go back and have a kind of quiet period. For SpeClaL, it does come back to get him, so kind of keep tabs on that.
There's one missile to that. Gotta be careful with the Oracle. Good tag on that army, keeps the Oracle alive. That pylon is gonna spot these Marines. Marines might be able to get a couple of probes though, but nope. Instead, he's gonna see if
They get the warp in though, which means the main base is gonna be a little bit more exposed.
Mothership core should be here, right? Well, a couple of adapts as well. So far, Neeb is bulletproof. Look at his sentries. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
They're like, Phoenix, get over here! We don't got the guns for this.
哇，超多凤凰哦，
Clean it up.
好搭啦！这整船都要死人，知道吗？
I've got you in my sights.
这整船都走不了，凤凰太多了，
One thing that does
全部抬起来杀
have to be。illustrated here with this harass attempt is, I mean, didn't it look and feel kind of pathetic? Whereas in the other games, all these drops did a lot of stuff. This map is tough on that individual drop harass. If that drop isn't backed up by another drop or some kind of attack, it just feels like it does nothing.
Ooh, the Oracle gets picked off. That's nice, but I'm pretty sure that Neeb is going to remake it. Because vision is everything, especially on a large map like Sequencer. Even though he is starting to get quite a few observers out, can we just take a look at the vision right now that Neeb has? You know, if you only look at this game from Neeb's point of view,
No.
I mean, he sees a lot in the middle, but I still think it's important that he starts getting some more eyes. That Warp Prism spots the medevac. There's a good chance that Neeb is good enough that he actually picked up on that.
矿工挖矿真的有差吗？真的有搞头吗？
I was laughing because it was looking like he didn't, but then trying to think of how to make that into commentary, and I couldn't do it. Warp Prism's going to try to find something where there's a missile turrets. Marines are very well aware, excuse me, could be going on there. This game's actually taking a unique little bit of a slower pace. Some sharking around and back and forth in the middle of the map, but for the most part, both these players are looking to muscle up and get to the mid game.
That medevac is still active, but Neeb was actually moving his units around.
He knows there's a cannon there, though. This can't do much, especially not when there's all that there.
For the natural, no.
哇，又送一波！哇，这一场 Major 就各种投不到，所以 Neeb 这一场的经济就没有那么差啊，因为这场经济比较好。这场输了大概就没了，应该没败部吧？我不确定。
I'm actually a little bit worried. We're gonna have our first Colossus coming out here. I believe that's the first Colossus.
Yep.
And that will represent the sole source of AoE damage for our Protoss player. And because there hasn't been any harass at all of the back and forth, I'm worried for the Protoss players. What I'm trying to get at right here, because it's the Terran players is able to tech up faster.
Well, we have a couple of units being active on the right top side of the map, and I don't think Neeb has picked up on this yet. He's going to be able to do some damage with the adepts, of course, but it's important.
看来我们该组个挖矿团队了。哇，全部打针过来救，结果三矿这边有一只教士在杀。 喂，凤凰这样子，哦，没什么枪兵啊，只有1支枪兵，2支枪兵而已。3矿，神族3矿被打哦。
Special at the top end of the map. Supply is still fairly close,
追杀中。
so it's not like anything super mega definitive has happened just yet. But Special is looking to do more there.
Yeah, 20 SUVs have gone down though. A couple of Marines gonna get picked off here as well, and that medevac should fall. Maybe a few too many lifts there, but the adepts are helping out a lot. These Marauders are gonna be forced to retreat. Most importantly, Neeb is buying time for his transition. 2 Colossus on the way, 1 Colossus already out. 2 upgrades are on the way. This is great play by the American Protoss.
By fighting there and killing the Marines, he's able to pick off what's remaining of the medevacs as well. So, I mean, he wants to get Vikings out. We talked about maybe ranged Liberators. Well, all those things become harder to do when you're remaking medevacs that you lost pretty needlessly in the middle of the map.
But Special is sitting quite comfortably on 4 bases as well.
有钱想要变有钱哦，希望你们大家传授他挖矿大法。
Okay.
I guess that mine had no vision, right?
下一次有钱就真的有钱了，你知道吗？
This is also wondering why did I spawn with half HP?
I mean, at this point, Neeb has to be just like not surprised. I'm loving this from Special. He just puts mines out on the map, puts them in really cool spots. They act as great forward scouts, and they pick off some wins there as well. Okay, now the question earlier was, where do we get the AOE from Neeb? He's got a massive Colossus count at 4. He's adding a Templar Archives. If he can get to Storm with this army, very few people can use Phoenix, Oracle, Storm, and Colossus well together, but of those people, Neeb's on that list.
Can't use any of those units properly, Jeff.
No, I actually can just
really
That's already hard. It's quite a mouthful. This is kind of a little bit awkward though, as a lot of these units are on the other side of the map. Of course, for Neeb, it's okay to free up some supply. These adepts are going to be able to kill a ridiculous amount of SCVs. This army is massive, but it's only 2 medevacs.
I think this could be so bad for Neeb. I loved his position, and it still could be very good for him. They're going to have a fight here.
哇，这解放者 ，Neeb 压力很大哦，他只要这场输，他就拜拜了。
I really think that actually Special can jump on this army, right? Like that doesn't look like an incredibly intimidating Protoss army to me. This Marauder count is massive. Now reinforcements are coming in.
The Hunter becomes the Hunted. The Concave of the Terran is going to go ahead and fan out there. Careful, Neeb. You're playing with fire. Good forces there. Cleave off a huge.
Wow, 烧烂。
And now he's going to give chase, and it seems like Special has had this flipped around on him here a little bit.
That was great, great hold there by Neeb, having a
因为那都太熟了，所以我先吃快一点。那里面也快坏了，那你熟透。但吃完它那个皮一定要包好。
Zealous is still slow Zealous, right? Oh no, they always got charged these days. It's so cheap. It's fantastic.
Oh, medevac gets picked off there. Colossus finding these minerals can also, like at worst, kind of shut that down a little bit. I mean, Special's in tough spot, down 50 supply. Just a few Vikings coming out here. This could end up pushing off the Colossus. Stalkers, of course, have the ability to blink, but if they go up to that high ground, that's a death sentence for them.
Yeah, it's still a little bit dangerous to fight near the planetary, but it's safe to say this was a big victory for
韩国大妈要那个，真的假的？有人会买那个比特币吗？
He is running back, so maybe he just feels it. That's those Proto Spider senses.
可是比特币前阵子不是都炒起来了？
If he's not going to be able to kill that base, then I guess he's worried about that counterattack. I mean, the other thing here too is Special. This is written into his DNA. He's going to be countering attack at all times.
And there are a couple of cannons and a few units left behind as well. One adept is going to spot this
drop.
But even if this drop does nothing, he turns around. If he can get these units home safely, this was still successful. Because Neeb was maxed out. Special was at 130 supply. Special needs to buy time. Of course, there is a downside to all of this. The extra time, well, Neeb is going to have Storm next time.
I'm just not impressed with Special's army. Like you said, Storm coming in, I feel like any 1 or 2 Storms is just going to destroy what we're looking at. There is no Ghost Tech. The medevac count is fairly low because they've been so busy, so the healing of these units is quite low as well.
死一堆人是指
The ghost economy
破产之类的吗？还是真的有人去自杀之类的？
issue though, if you let a Terran max out, even if the army doesn't look that impressive, Sequencer can be a little awkward, going down all these ramps and going up a ramp, especially if Liberators are set up. And of course, you know, as long as the player is maxed out, he's always got a chance.
Yeah. And there are those temples.
是啊，闪电都有，人类有鬼子吗？人类好像没鬼子哎，这怎么打闪电啊？
And Neeb and this planetary will be under siege from the.
其实靠解放者是可以打闪电的，但是有鬼子更好，鬼子还可以把那个神族其他单位的那个护盾变零，那神族变很软。
He likes to keep his worker count fairly low, so his army is still large.
Yeah, of course he gets up a lot of workers earlier in the game. That one Colossus will go down, but then eventually Neeb starts trading out the adepts for stronger units.
Here we go.
This is a nice little run by as well. A couple of storms could perhaps land on units. It's gonna be hard to clean this up. It's baiting out. Now actually the special seems like a little disorganized. These units are all over the place. That is a good storm.
Good spread there on the second one. He should be able to defeat this, but yes, good harass here. And the Vikings take some free shots in the middle of the map. They don't get a trade there. They're going after that low health Colossus, but they don't get it. And actually, the Archon is able to finish, but we got bigger fish to fry. Here comes the high ground siege. Perhaps Colossus sitting there on the low ground looking to do what they can. Stalker's giving
压力很大，这个哇，直接上了吗？受不了了吗？哦，围巾。
All over these Vikings. Special just wants time. He wants to get more Vikings. Like Viking and Ghost and a bunch of bio units is always incredibly scary to deal with.
挖矿永远不嫌晚啊，孩子。
34 workers after that carnage. I feel like
up in army supply.
He's up in army supply, but I mean that's going to be his short-term thing. He's got to do something with that right now. He was already low in harvesters. 50 is on the low end of the spectrum, but to be down in the 30s now is a troubling spot. He's aware of it. He's making SCVs.
This factory did not have the same pleasure as our factory on Odyssey.
The amnesty of factories has come and gone. They're like, no, I'm sorry. I don't agree to your terms. Now, ghosts are out. The Viking count, as you were kind of talking about earlier, is getting a little bit higher. So certainly Special has the tools to deal with this. But man, this base is never going to have a peaceful mining unless he puts a bunker here or something. There's that Warp Prism on the right side, constantly harassing. But forget that, we're going here.
Yeah, the planetary is going to be on the fire. Good storm again.
哇，被电爆啊！这个。
couple feedbacks land. EMB does go neck too.
这个 Neeb 的魔法兵种用的比那个 Major 强多了。这场啊。
Couple of defensive storms. Oh, yeah, so many storms.
Just a cheeky couple. Good EMP there, but we're going to have a pretty big fight here. The Colossus is going to get targeted down. As I say that, it escapes like
GG.
1 health. GG is called out, and Neeb is able to take Sequencer.
其实 Major 这样看起来蛮强的。
Your prayers have been heard.
Awesome spirit. I mean, 3 out of 4 games.
应该说 Neeb 打人类打法比较，该怎么说呢？
Looks like my bad days on ladder. Just really cool stuff. Impossible to predict. I mean, shows that the boys at the desk knew what they were talking about as well, right? One more leaning towards Special, the other one leaning slightly more towards Neeb. Just so hard to call between these two.
Yep, and that's what I was hoping for. A Game 5 on the biggest of stages in StarCraft 2. It doesn't get any bigger than WCS Youngsha Ping for us here. Nice cash prize, but again, this is a circuit, you guys. The second stop of 4. These guys have been training and fighting and traveling and battling it out, trying to earn points to get themselves to the amazingly prestigious global finals.
We're definitely going to see this young man there at the end of the year, as he has, of course, won WCS Austin. The winner of WCS Yon Chopping will also get a direct seat into those global finals. And the remaining players will be picked from those WCS rankings, which is why we keep mentioning these points. Obviously, Special has been collecting a lot of points so far, doing well in those Latin American qualifiers, doing incredibly decent at Austin, and here once again picking up quite a few points. But a semi-final performance is going to put him in a really sweet spot.
奇遇老师是谁啊？
Last map, we're looking at it. It's going to be played on Blood Boil.
Blood Boil gets a bit of a reputation as being a very, very scary map in PvZ. And PvT, not as much, but I think kind of the things you want to factor in, it does have 5 gases available between those first 3 bases. It has an extremely robust gold base. Be something quite difficult there.
You know what I think is terrifying on this map? The Reaper Man.
The Reaper Man?
Yes, because there are so many different angles that Reaper's
看个广告，各位。
to the main. I had
结婚金。
a experience a couple weeks ago where I ran into U-Turmo, and it's just 3-4 Reapers. I was running around from left to right, even over the Stalker. Felt like there's almost nothing I can do. I think this is once again a map where it's just likely that we'll see a Stargate unless Neeb decides to do something incredibly crazy. But there are a lot of different angles that you can fly in. You know, the main, natural, third base, and then obviously early game as well. I wouldn't mind seeing Special go crazy. I wouldn't mind seeing like a proxy barracks early Reaper followed up with some factory play. I think that would be excellent on this map, but of course it's a tough call to make in Game 5 of the quarterfinals of a WCS event.
还有一场
Absolutely, Kevin.
2-2，这绝对是最后一场。
Here, my mind wandered a little bit in and out. You started talking about thermal and Reapers and stuff like that. My eyes just glossed over. But I love you.
Why?
I don't know. I got nothing. There's no joke there or anything.
Okay.
These guys are asking for a little bit of break in case you guys are like, shut up, we want
已经按了，已经按了，看来是没了。我已经按过。
Say, look, we played 4 intense games. This is our life. Need a minute. Ting is, or not Ting, excuse me, Neeb, having a conversation himself. Gonna kind of check themselves, calm it down.
我还想不要去买铁拳来玩呢。
Make sure and give a little bit of love to the
我等等买个铁拳玩好了，好不好？
ASUS Republic of Gamers. Awesome partners like Blizzard, DreamHack. That's every man. That's every person we can thank right now. That's all.
I think we have to thank Nathanius as well.
有没有在玩铁拳啊？教一下
How。would you even go about doing that?
Have we?
还是脑波牛铁拳来打一下
I don't know if I did.
I didn't mention.
I keep forgetting if I did. I think
I
we
have
did
not
it. We did it
铁
yesterday.
拳7啊
Yeah,？but
Did we?
现在买好了。
I haven't done it yet.
我现在买，我现在买。
Coming soon.
Wow.
And our dear Nathanius is going to be the main star in that one. Actually, the only star as well. It's a one-man
He is
show.
the only star of that one. Yeah.
Upcoming Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I've got it marked on my calendar. I've had it marked on my calendar for a couple of
I'm
years.
doing a
now.
24-hour stream with Nate
Yeah.
in my ears.
Well, I mean,
靠
it's
1290
not even a 24-hour stream. It's a just forever stream. Stay in your ears, I guess. But enough about us, guys. I know you are here for the StarCraft action and not for our witty, awesome banter. Fortunately for you, you get both. We're inside game number 5 of the best of 5 in this quarterfinal, rounding it
干
out.
好贵哦。
We can go there now. The top left-hand side, the blue Protoss on Blood Boil. It's Neeb.
Neeb，
On the right bottom side.
干下载1个小时
Base,
，what the fuck？
Mostly on the right bottom side.
Yeah. Look in the main base. We're back in there. I hate you.
Don't let me throw
I
you
love
off.
you and I hate you at the
Well,
same
that's,
time.
that's what I do to people.
We see a man that doesn't have a barracks in its main. And we see
明天几点开始特卖啊？
going down. He is doing
干我已经买了
it.
再把它推掉好了。
Number 5. Give it up for Special.
明天特卖吗？
This happens. It's not like he invented it, but I can't help but to think
干，只好跟他说买错了，
about
抱歉。
long-lost, beloved Ukrainian Protoss brother
干，我觉得我应该要先买一下。
who many years ago on Shakira's plateau at the end of I think it was like IPL.
Sorry, but you give me a hard time for mentioning
What?
a game of U-Thermal on Blood Boil, and you go back to the Hydra era, and I can't
You
do
can always go
抱歉，老板，我买错了，不好意思，
It's like
买错了，我是要买铁拳6哦，干买
at
错
the
了
end，of a big tournament.
Yeah, it was in Stockholm actually.
拍谁拍谁拍谁，
Proxy
不好意思不好意
to
思，造成麻烦，抱
determine
歉。
everything.
It was like $10,000 for
It
nothing.
takes so much guts to do that. That's crazy.
Well, there was a very early scout by Neeb, so Neeb saw the refineries and he saw that missing barracks, but we're about to see why you have to fear the Reaper Man. The factory is actually being built at home, and now I wonder what he's going to do with that other SCV. But here you have it.
Maybe.
Yeah, but why would you proxy? I mean, I guess you just want to have everything
Just
on
do
the other
this?
side of the map. Quicker reinforcements. The Zealot is going to buy a little bit of time, but Reapers are faster than Zealots. It's important for Special, obviously, that he gets a lot of kills. I like the SimCity on the left side.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes your life a little bit easier. He gets the surround,
He
but
caught the Reaper.
it lives.
Oh my god. Its own grenade sets it free. It has just, what was that, 1 health?
2, I think, yeah. 1 or 2.
No, it had 1. If the green is the health right there, it had 1 health.
Yeah, it's definitely the health.
My
Second Reaper is
God.
going to show up. Monishim Core is obviously going to help, making things a little bit easier. But Neeb is
抱歉
already
抱
down
歉，
3
买错买
workers.
错
The scouting
买错，
probe
我
is
是要
gonna
买
get
铁拳
picked up
6
as
了。
well.
拍谁
And
拍谁。
Special is going to keep these Reapers alive. They can always hop into the back. What is?
Is the barracks spotted going back home?
Yeah.
Did-
But
23号凌晨1
know
点
that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because if he knows that,
I
the
think-
ruse at 12 o'clock is crazy. He does see it going back home.
Yep. But
So does he think he's safe?
I think he knows that this is often the beginning. Nobody, opens up like this with 2 refineries and a proxy barracks to be like, hey, I've killed 3 probes. That's pretty good. Let's expand.
Tech lab on the starport.
Cloak Banshee?
It is gonna be the Banshees.
Oh, these Reapers.
And Gavin
哇这么多
has
死神
not
哦
shown to
吓死
open
宝
up
宝了
Rainbow yet.
这是野的吧？
Wow. And there it is. Cloak Banshee has been
哇，Banshee
not even started, ladies and gentlemen.
隐形女妖
No, he goes
解放者，不，那个巨龙飞船车。
change up his build, he does not.
这边下一个 VS， 哇，其实有点危险哦。
Completely for free almost, Kevin.
Okay, well, one of the Reapers does go down, so this is actually quite nice. Second Reaper, access denied as well. Overcharge. Now, you don't want to use an overcharge for just the Reaper, so that Reaper is going to live. There's one Adept there that's going to try to keep these probes safe. Obviously, Special is doing all of this to distract Neeb from what is actually going on right on this side here, on the right side of this Reaper. But don't forget, Neeb does open up with an Oracle, so it's some detection, and that is a pretty fast robo, all things bad.
趴猫哦，不知道有没玩。你要问键盘哥哦，他已经玩了20几个小时了。
Does he know?
Maybe one Oracle for detection. I think it's Oracle.
It's going to be Oracle. The robo was quite quick, so maybe we don't. I was worried that this would just immediately end. That's the power of the Cloak Banshee there, but Neeb is giving himself the ability to perhaps hold this off and not take game-ending damage. Meanwhile, outside of his base, by the way, it continues to be one base. Well, okay, no, there's the second CC for our Terran player, so he's got a backup plan.
Also, shout out to Neeb for only, and I say only, losing 4 probes against that proxy barracks on this map. That ain't easy, especially not against somebody.
下载量好啊。
So it's Oracle into Phoenix. Oracle is heading out. It's important. First observer is already on the way. This is obviously the moment.
Then
that the
Friday
first
boy
Banshee's gonna fly into the natural.
要大家帮他
That would have been
载片片哦。
Don't follow that cyclone. It's a trap. Never follow the
trap.
cyclone.
Well, here come the Banshees at the natural now, and also the.
他是那个成年行为研究所，
The big question here now is can Neeb stop it
成人行为研究所的那个学生哦。
the first Banshee they're
他今天有一些东西想要请大家下载试用。
It's kind of bad. He didn't use cloak. I mean, the observer did pop. 7 probes do go down, but that's actually.
哇，居然有 OB 加凤凰，你敢信？
There are moments where we see like 18, 20, 22 probes go down in a moment like this. Obviously, this did a lot of damage, but I don't think it did enough, especially not after investing in Cloak, investing in 2 Banshees, having a late CC at home. I think this is good for our American Protoss.
Is he gonna let that Banshee finish? That's a mistake. It's gonna get shot down almost immediately.
哎，SpeClaL 这不是一波哎，这是开2矿的。
Is that the caster curse then?
Could be.
All right. You know what? Absolutely, it was. And he's still looking for this trap in the middle of the map. He's like, does anybody want to kill this Cyclone? Anybody at all? There is a free Cyclone over here. Well, the game's going to stabilize a little bit. I do have to agree with Rotterdam, though, that was not enough damage. You can see that reflected in the worker count in particular for our 2 players. Neeb is coming up high there.
那个鬼雷啊，你只要戳到他的时候，他才刚要买，你就戳了死。如果说今天那个鬼雷是他看到你戳到他之前他就已经买了，你就戳不死，死的就是你哦。所以你在判断你有没有办法杀掉那个鬼雷的时候，就是看你是先打到他还是他先买，他先买你就打不死了。
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he changed his build. There's just something not right about what he was seeing. I think it's the proxy just kind of tipped him off and said, you know what, one of the possibilities is that Special is going for the quick win here and made the adjustment. We talked about that gut check earlier. We're seeing it in action from Neeb. And now I got to say, Rotterdam, it's time for Special to dig deep. This is a big map. It's not the hardest to drop because there's a lot of cliffs up and down everywhere. But it's not necessarily the best map for drops either.
And don't forget that with a mine does it connect with the Oracle? No, it went for a Phoenix instead, but still the
传统的2D 卷轴18禁游戏哦，玩家扮演一颗球状物，只能不断的前进哦。画面最左侧与地板的球会对玩家造成伤害哦。游玩过程中可暂停哦，也可以单手玩。玩家30秒内没死亡会进入下一关。
To be able to get Liberator harass against someone that has like 7 or 8 Phoenix, by the way, is not the easiest things in the world.
This is actually a very successful Liberator, not only because it killed those probes, but also, you know, it gets the Stalker there as well. And it forced all those probes to stop mining, and it takes a little bit of the heat off Special. Instead of just defending at home against Phoenixes and Oracles and being far behind and falling further behind.
哎，这还是没爆哎，他等下又要再做一个。
The friendly factory, you cannot have a friendly starport. Unfortunately, 2 ships passing the night here.
不然你双手玩吗？这游戏当然单手玩啊。
When they show up at the main base, yeah, they'll get some.
左手只是辅助啊，各位。
Yep, and there is not that much at home. 8 adepts is not enough. This is risky. Neeb is playing with fire. Yes, he's gonna kill quite a few SCVs here, but he could potentially end up losing a lot more at home. Imagine if he loses the mothership core or something. Let's take a look.
Oh, there's only one pylon there.
Okay, Guardian Shield is
哎，
incredible.
炸了炸了炸了！哎，这一次没空。他刚如果可以站起来，然后还炸空去炸哨兵，就太神了。
There's not a lot of warpins. The motion core is there. Does he pay attention? Yes, he immediately gets the photon overcharge down. Just a few adepts there. But this is early stage, so this bioforce.
鬼脚没有，礼拜六啊。
The Phoenix are coming though, Jeff.
我都没练了，怎么办？礼拜六来练一下哈。
This down, and the adepts will probably chase up as well, because he's got adepts on both sides. There is no way that Neeb should ever let these medevacs go home. He knows it. He's got an Oracle in the mix. That friendly starport ain't that friendly anymore.
Yeah. See if he can get a few Phoenix for his efforts. Well, that Banshee just had a bad day. I mean,
Oracle.
he does get a couple Phoenix here. Like, this drop was always doomed to die. And something you talked about, it frees up space. Look at the middle of the map. Another.
其实我觉得人类其实还没有一点不虚哦，他只是感觉好像亏了很多东西，但其实他完全能打。人类有3矿，神族也3矿，3矿打3矿。 这次啊，我 VS 那个开水加希尔加那个谁，凤梨妹。哦，他们3个轮流来挑战这样。我在想，我要只选虫族吗？还是玩随机啊？因为用脚玩真的是虫族比较能玩，另外2族真的太难玩了。
And this time it's special whose units are out of position. And our WCS Austin champion is starting to look really good here on Blood Boil.
Is this going to be enough damage? The SCVs are getting evacuated out of that natural inside the base. Inside the main does clean up a little bit in a good fight.
很累，你们要考虑到我体力的问题啊。
Losing a depth's okay, especially when you kill.
总共要打12场，我打到第9场、第10场，我脚还有力吗？不好说啊，脚早就没力了好吗？我只能速战速决，真的。
This is good stuff for him.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Oh, the warp prism.
Incredibly good. There's a missile turret as well that will not get that final hit off.
One more shot and you're okay, fine.
Even that building there, the armory is delayed as well. The upgrades are going to be incredibly late for special. I mean, you're spot on, Jeff. Sometimes we got carried away with our harass as a Protoss player, but this was really successful.
This was good.
Yeah, this was super. This is good for Neeb.
And I mean, what's happening too, because Special's having to clean up this harass back at home, his infamous multi-attacks and harass that has been what he's won and gotten this far off of have been shut down. They're just non-existent. If you look at that mini-map, I almost see nothing.
Cancelled the armory. What does this tell us? That tells us that I think Special's had enough of this game. He feels the longer he waits, the worse this will get. Let's just crank out as many units as possible. We're not going to try to get 2-2 upgrades anytime soon. We're going to try to punish this gold. 哎，企鹅王的前面有一个皇冠，表示你用皇冠订阅我的频道吗？企鹅王是这样吗？哇，人口差好多、哦。取消。哇，人类家里被闹爆，哇，人类受不了，这必须要打。但是这个立场隔得很不错，立场隔得不错，人类很多部队没办法输出。哎，你敢飘，这会取消吧？哇，他喷了，他飘，他飘。继续，家里被闹爆了。哦，那个是跟电池差不多是。Awesome stuff. I mean, heartbreaking defeat for Special, who once again falls short, but still collects a lot of WCS points. Walks away with at least $4,000, if I recall correctly. 没有，我不知道你订阅的意思啊，我只是好奇那个图案是代表什么。
He's working hard in Korea. He's doing a great job. So I hope you guys follow his journey.
The pace of that series was so high pace.
哎，有没有人的那个 Steam 账号有买那个铁拳铁拳7啦？我想借一下来玩。
Tell us about Neeb.
Thank you very much, guys. Neeb, congratulations. When I spoke to you earlier at this event, you said that recently you haven't felt like you've been playing very well. That being said, it seems like all your hard practice is paying off. You've made 2 semifinals back-to-back. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. I really thought I would lose here against Major, especially after my second loss, the third game. I just felt really out of it. Like, I don't know, there was nothing I could do, but I think I played really well after that.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit more about that situation. It was after Proxima Station. It was a very quick GG from yourself. What was going on in your head at that point, and how did you focus for the next match?
哦
He did a really interesting build that game. I don't know if he knew that I always send my Oracle straight across the middle or what, but losing the first Oracle like that is just really bad, especially when they're going Reactor Factory, because you just have no detection for anything. I think I should have made like a faster robo or something.
牙板的时候第一次有送的。
constant detection, but yeah, I think he played that situation pretty well, so he was able to take it really easily.
And on that last map on Blood Boil, it just seemed like no matter what he tried to throw at you, you just seemed so prepared. I could see a little smile from yourself. At that point, did you just feel like you had him figured out?
Yeah, I'm really confident on Blood Boil PVT. I think it's just really good for Protoss, and the longer the game goes, as you get the gold base, it's just, you just have so much money, so you can do like anything you want. And also, I was really prepared for the proxy build. I was like 95% sure he was going to do at least a proxy Reaper, maybe just like proxy all his buildings. And I caught his Reaper with my probes, but like I thought it was going to be like game over from there because you get so far ahead, but I don't know.
And SpeClaL was one of the players that some people called a favorite at this tournament. With him out of the way and another Terran coming up next, do you feel some confidence since you took down SpeClaL here?
Yeah, it's definitely really nice to play the same matchup a few games in a row because, like, I don't have to prepare at all. It's what I've been preparing for.
All right, well, congratulations again, Neeb. And with that, it'll be our WCS Austin champion, Neeb, moving on to the semifinal.
Our next
这个你没有办法判断吗？这一波，这波你们觉得哪边会赢？你们看一下部队哦，你们看一下部队，神族是117，人类是82，然后神族有4只巨象，然后人类的阵型比较好，哪边会赢？攻防的话，神族是3攻2防，人类的话也是3攻2防。你们觉得是有人觉得是神，有些人觉得是人哈。这边是有4只巨象，那我开给你们看哦。
Our next semi-finalist as Neeb claws his way out of an extremely back and forth series of finalists as Neeb claws.
好啦，结论是人类赢的啦。这一波其实人类赢的，因为阵型的关系，所以阵型真的很重要。
His way out of an extremely back and forth series that featured, man, that factory. I still keep thinking about that one to Muslim. It has been such an intense series, but Neeb, the god himself, staying alive.
Certainly is, and yes, that is the longest living proxy factory of all time. I mean, the Widowmine kill count at the end of that game was something around 40 or so, and yeah, that Reaper that we just saw on screen.
Life tilt.
And I mean, that is the difference. Like Neeb even said that. He
就讲到这吧。
kind of thing with